Okay, welcome back, Irrelevant. So I was going through the syllabus. I stopped at sacred text when we ran out of time, so I'll get through quickly and then we'll get into the task. So for Christianity, sacred text is Old and New Testament, but the Old Testament is Jewish. New Testament is broken up into a couple of parts. We've got the 4 Gospels that are on Jesus' life. Then after that, we have the Acts of the Apostles, which is how the story of St. Paul spreading Christianity. And then after that, we have the letters of Paul and letters of others that actually put the Christian beliefs into practice. That comes in more important next year, but it's good for us to know to move on. Then ethical teachings for Christianity, you have the 10 Commandments, were a straight set of rules that come from the Old Testament and Judaism. Then from there, we have Jesus' Beatitudes that put into the idea that the way that we treat each other shouldn't be bound in rules, but should be about thought processes. And then the simple love one another as I have loved you, Jesus' commandment. Then finally, for our practice, we're looking at a personal devotion, the concept of personal prayer. For year of 12, we look at personal individual prayer or practice, and we look at group practice as well. But that's essentially our syllabus. It's fairly straightforward. If you had studied really hard from 7 to 10, you'd know most of this. But also you got to remember, we're studying Christianity from 7 to 10. You looked at Catholic studies. All right, let's go back to our web page. So first thing we're looking at is the cultural and historical context. Just in our column here in the middle, you have a lot of resources. Now, each of these resources sort of builds on each other, so you need to come back to them. So let's click open the task. You're looking at how Christianity started. Within here, you have starting points for resources to kick off with. So jump onto the second slide. You've got a website there that talks you through the political settings of Jerusalem at the time, then the economic settings, the cultural and daily life, and educational settings. So what was the education, social, and politics like in first century Israel when Jesus was alive? Then after that, you have another website that breaks down the different types of Jewish people, our Essenes, Sadducees, Pharisees, and Zealots. Just quickly, we have the Essenes, that were Jewish people that stayed away, thinking that the world was coming to an end, so they wanted nothing to do with life happening in the world. Then we have the Sadducees. Now, we know that the Romans were running the place at the time. The Sadducees sucked up to the Romans and pushed aside a lot of their Jewish faith. They compromised a lot. The Pharisees, on the other hand, were very strict in the way that they saw the Jewish law, and they thought Jewish law was above the Romans. So they had a lot of conflict with the Romans. It was actually the Pharisees that tested Jesus the most. And then we have the Zealots. The Zealots were the revolutionary Jewish people that essentially were the terrorists of the time, and they caused a lot of havoc for the Romans in charge. Then you have to, lastly, on your own, explain why the study of Jewish life is an essential for the understanding of Christianity. We want you to teal paragraph it. So I've got the video up there as well of how to write a teal paragraph. But essentially here, Christianity wouldn't exist if Judaism didn't exist. Christianity drives out of Judaism. And Jesus sees himself as the person that is able to fulfill all the prophecies that come up in the Old Testament. So that's your first task. To do that, you need obviously the websites in there, but you've also got these out here. Our second task focuses on this video here. So if I open it up, ask you once again terminologies. These 3 words, covenant, decalogue, and Messiah, they're the words we expect you to be using this time. So scroll through, ask you to watch the video and make your own summary of key points. So I'll put the points in there for you to go down. So that takes about 15 minutes to watch the video, and you should have a heap of information there. Then afterwards, we're getting a think, pair, share activity. Now, you're working at home on your own. How do you do think, pair, share? One thing we've got to do is start working about how we can communicate with each other. So maybe even if you did a Zoom with one of your friends, jump on Google Meets, etc., even talk to them on the phone. But choose a person in our class that you're going to work with. Probably hear my son in the background. You have to read these Bible passages, discuss them together, and answer these questions. All right. Once that's done, because I got 20 seconds left, I'll finish up. Down a bit further, you have a Padlet. This Padlet asks you 2 questions. What do you know about Jesus? And what do we know about the time of Jesus for you to fill in? All right, we'll talk to you guys. We're going to do a Zoom on Friday. Make sure you're there. All right, see you guys.